Bring in Stevie Jacobs, who is brushing up on his skills at Ford's driver training course. Stevie.
Yeah, good morning to you, Tommy. Indeed, it's a beautiful day out here. We're at Eastern Creek, Sydney Motorsport Park this morning. I'm joined by James. He has been running the Ford Driving Skills for Life for the past 4 years, and we're going to learn a little bit about improving our driving today. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us, my friend. We're going to have a quick look at the weather, and then we'll tell you exactly what's happening here behind us. Good morning, Australia. A few showers about today in Cairns. You're heading towards degrees. Okay, we are going to get behind the wheel this morning, and we are going to improve our driving skills. You have been improving driving skills right around the country now for the past 4 years. Tell us what's going on behind us here and what this course is all about.
Yep, so this is about getting young drivers in practical experiences, so getting them behind the wheel to understand what happens. So we've got some young drivers out there now driving around our steering course. So the course is made up of 5 different exercises where they get to feel loss of control, understanding the car a little bit more, and even just bringing that awareness, like with the Gillett Foundation coming on board, about cyclist safety. There's just way too many cyclists being hit by cars. So getting the awareness up and getting people safer on our roads.
All right, mate, we are looking forward to it. We're going to get into the car a little bit later on. I'm going to see how I go, and we're also going to put me into a drunk suit. Is that right?
Yeah, look, you get you under the influence and see what you like at 0.05.
Sounds like a terrible morning, guys. Happy Saturday.
A drunk suit. Yeah.
I'm intrigued about what this means exactly.
Right.
All right, it is time now to do a check-in with the weather with Stevie Jacobs.
Good morning, Ali. Yeah, we're on the bike this morning for our Saturday weather, and we are checking out the Ford Driving Skills for Life. Now, this is a free course for drivers. It's been happening for around about 4 years around Australia, and this year the emphasis is on safety and cycle awareness. And I've got Martin here from the Gillett Foundation. We're going to talk more about what we're going to do and how to be more aware when you're on the road with cyclists. But first, we're going to go to the skies and see if it's a nice day for you to head out the door and go for a little ride yourself. How do you teach drivers about cycle safety and cycle awareness? Well, they do it here with virtual reality. So I'm going to get this virtual reality helmet on, and you should be able to see on the screen what I'm going to be seeing. Now, you can ride the bike through the streets of London. You'll have all sorts of obstacles and cars and pedestrians walk out, and you have to learn how to ride safely. But Martin, can you talk us through the Gillett Foundation and why it's so important to teach drivers about cycle safety and awareness?
Absolutely, and thanks for having us here today. The Gillett Foundation was formed in 2005. We're a charity, and we were formed when Amy Gillett was tragically killed in Germany, a national cyclist, and our sole purpose is to create a safer cycling environment for all cyclists around Australia. And it's as simple as, and I ask all the viewers out there today, that when you're next on the road and see a cyclist, that you slow down and you pass as wide as you safely can.
And you've got the key message there on your T-shirt?
Yes, of a metre matters. And when you're out on the road, and as I'm sure you're going to experience in the virtual reality, being close passed by a car is not fun at all. And tragically, we've lost 39 cyclists' lives around Australia this year already. And we ask that every driver slows down and passes cyclists wide with at least a metre to make sure that the cyclist can return home to their destination, to their family safely.
Right,
it's as simple as that.
That is a fantastic message. Thank you very much.
Thank you
very much. And the great thing about this Ford Driving Skills for Life, it is a free course. It's available to anyone, but particularly for younger drivers on their L's and their P's, so they can really gain more skills behind the wheel and make sure that everyone's safe on the road, Tommy and Ali.
Nice one,
I'm
Stevie.
feeling a bit dizzy, by the way.
I'm just wondering how long it's been since Stevie's ridden a bike.
Without training wheels?
Yeah.
Never. Good on you, Stevie. Thank you for that.
With Stevie Jacobs now with the weather.
Good morning to you, Ali. Yeah, we're taking on the Ford Driving Skills for Life course this morning. I've got James with me. Now, this teaches drivers many of the skills that you don't really get to learn when you start out driving. Simple skills, like even how to sit in the car.
Yeah, well, one of the big things is people like to sit so far away from the wheel. So the biggest thing is getting your hands on the wheel and being able to have a bend in the arms. Now, always remember, go to 9 and 3. not the old 10 and 2 like your 1973 trucks. So now if you're involved in an accident, your arms will actually soak up the absorption. So now you might feel like a bit of a grandma, but at least you'll make that grandma age.
That's a good tip. All right, we're going to go for a little drive around this course and we'll check out some of the things that are really distracting drivers on the road at the moment, and you can give us some ideas on how to help that. But first, let's have a look at the weather and see what's going on right around the country. Okay, and away we go. So what's the idea of this driving course here?
Well, the big thing is getting your vision up. So many people don't look far enough up the road. So even as we're coming through these corners, your eyes look first and then your hands will follow. So it's about nice and smooth, but also just even having a chat to the young drivers and seeing what distractions. Like we're traveling 16 meters per second at 60 kilometers an hour. So the time that you look down at your phone is the time that things go wrong. So really being aware about your surroundings when you're driving a motor vehicle.
And what sort of things are distracting drivers these days?
Well, it could be anything. It could be as simple as basically the mobile phone ringing or the lovely cyclist that we're about to go past. So it's everything that's out on the roads that's there to distract us, and we've got to think ahead of that.
And we don't get taught about driving on the road with cyclists when you're learning how to drive. So what are some of the main key points for people to be thinking about?
Well, I think the biggest thing is give them room. Everyone's in such a rush these days. So you know what? Just allow yourself time to get past them safely. At the end of the day, living with yourself knowing that you've clipped a cyclist or even worse, killing a cyclist is probably the worst thing in the world that you can ever deal with.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is amazing. And this is a free course as well. How do people get involved with it?
Yep, so they just go onto the Ford Driving Schools for Life website and basically book in. It's one of those things that it's good for Ford to give back to the community.
All right, mate, this is fantastic, and it's really good to learn some of these basic skills that I think particularly a lot of the young people seem to be missing out on these days.
Oh, without a doubt. And wait till the next cross and then we'll get you into real some trouble.
Guys, I'm getting into the drunk suit for the next cross, so don't miss out on that one. But in the meantime, I'm just going to keep feeling like a nana and hopefully living to the age of a nana, driving properly and safely.
Well, you're doing a good job. Thanks, Stevie.
At the weather around the country as we head into your weekend, here's Stevie Jacobs.
Good morning to you, Tommy, and it is Saturday morning. The sun is shining. We're at Eastern Creek this morning. We're taking the Ford Driving Skills for Life course. Now, what I'm wearing this morning is called an impairment suit, and this basically simulates you being at 0.05, so feeling a little bit tipsy. And what's the idea of this for the young kids?
So basically with alcohol it comes over time. So this gets you at the 0.05 from sober straight away. So just to actually see what the reaction's like and what the impairment actually does to you.
Okay, we're going to throw some earmuffs on, some glasses, and this will basically give you the same feeling as being drunk.
Yeah, without a doubt. And this is the whole thing that 52% of all fatalities from Thursday night to Sunday morning is still a drunk driver. And that's the scary factor. And I don't believe people are deliberately flaunting it. It's basically they're just not understanding the rules. And this is the test we got you to do before to prove that you're at zero, is walk the line like the old American style. Yeah. So basically kids are doing this now, and then normally what we do is suit them up and see the difference straight away. All
right, okay, we're going to go and have a little look at the weather, and then we'll try it with the suit on and see what happens. But first, let's go to the earmuffs, the goggles, which kind of distort your vision. So we've got weights on the arms, around the neck and around the legs, and that will give you the feeling of
and also your joints tightening up as well. So now what we're going to get you to do is one foot in front of the other and just walk on the line. So remember, heel to toe.
I can't even, I don't think I can even get on. Wow.
Look, I think it's just one great step for Stevie, really, this morning.
Whoa.
So, and
that's amazing. Like, you really cannot actually, I can't even walk on that yellow line.
Well, how about try and catch a ball? So you can do that. And that's a really big thing that we try and tell young drivers, that you might be able to chance it once and catch it, but is it worth putting people at risk? Yeah. And even young drivers, when they're the responsible one, having 3 drunk idiot mates in the back egging them on. So it really is about that responsibility of driving a motor vehicle is the most dangerous thing they'll do every day of their lives.
Yeah, there you go. Very important message here from the Ford Driving Skills.
Can we do a test? Can we throw a few more balls at you, Stevie?
Oh, wow, I tell you what, Tommy, this really gives you the feeling of being incredibly under the influence. I love you, mate. I love you.
I love you, mate. No, you hang up first.
No, you hang up.
No, you hang up.
No, I love you.
No, I miss you already.
Oh, miss you.
I mean, we are laughing, but quite extraordinary that that's the impact that it has at 0.05. We'll leave Steve practicing, I think.
My Lord.
Let's leave him practicing. I think he needs it.
Wow.
We'll check in a bit later, Stevie. It is great to have your company this morning. Time now for the weather with Stevie Jacobs, who's brushing up on his skills at Ford's driver training course. Good morning, Stevie.
Good morning to you. And I don't know who's more scared at the moment, me or the instructor, James, because part of the course involves getting a car out of control. How are we going to do that, James?
Well, we're going to attempt to come down on our low friction surface and just get you to brake and steer. Two really simple things, but let's hope that goes well.
All right, we've got the fingers crossed. We're going to try that right after we take a look at the weather and see what's happening for the weekend. And we'll start with James. So for young drivers who are coming to do the Ford Driving Skills for Life, what can they expect?
So basically this is just going to feel like what it's like to lose control at a slow enough speed that you can feel. So as we go around the corner here, a little bit more acceleration now, and keep going all the way down to the plastic, keep accelerating, keep going hard on the brakes, braking, 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 braking. And that's real life for you. Do you like the cameraman? They even took steps back.
I think we freaked the camera crew out as well. And what is that basically going to teach young people about driving in the wet?
It's just what they've done to you. See how you've wide your eyes open and give them that check that this will happen in a controlled environment the first time it happens. So hopefully give them that understanding that staying on the brakes, the car will stop.
Oh, I tell you what, it gets the heartbeat going too, doesn't it?
You're having a wonderful morning. You've had a couple of drinks, you've had a skid. What's coming up next?
Well, stay tuned. We'll find out. We've got more coming to you live from Eastern Creek this morning. This is the Ford Driving Skills for Life. And let's face it, everyone needs more skills when it comes to being behind the wheel and keeping you and your family safe.
Thank God you've got some, Steve. You said your heart was racing. I think the crew there just about saw their lives flash before their eyes. We'll come back to you shortly. Thank you, Stevie. Well, it is...
Welcome back and thanks for joining us this morning. It is time for the weather now with Stevie Jacobs, who's putting his driving tests, or skills to the test, I should say.
Yes, we are taking the Ford Driving Skills for Life course this morning. Now, this is a free course, travels all around Australia. James is the main instructor, mate. What ages is this targeted at?
It's basically young drivers, so as soon as they got their L's, they're more than welcome to come and join us.
Okay, what sort of things do they learn at the course?
Realistically, I think the good thing is to have skills, but also have that attitude and the awareness. Because at the end of the day, if they're calling on their skills every day, they're not using their attitude right.
All right, great. Well, speaking of attitude, we're going to get this car with a little bit of attitude. We're about to simulate an emergency stop, so we might get everyone to clear the area, and we'll have a look at the weather, and then we'll see what these guys can do. It's good to see so many stops. Now, this is something that we experience a lot on the road, so why is it important for kids to learn how to do this?
Well, I guess the feel, just feeling that pulse under the brake pedal, under the foot for the first time, and doing it in a controlled environment is always a lovely way so they understand it.
All right, let's wave them off.
Yep, so we've got Ben behind the wheel. Yeah, so Ben's coming down, basically one of the young drivers for today, and as he comes down, he's just going to jump on the ABS. You hear that chattering, and that's the car doing the work. The big thing that we've got to remember here, that's pure stopping distance. What catches young drivers out is the reaction time. That don't go away from today thinking this is as good as it gets. You've got to put that 3-second gap into rule.
Why do you think it's so important for young kids to do this?
Look, at the end of the day, we look at ourselves. What did we do when we were young drivers? And think about, giving them the best chance. And if we can just give them that little bit more understanding, that driving a motor vehicle is the most dangerous thing they'll do every day of their lives.
All right, fantastic. If anyone wants to get involved, this is a free course. It is sponsored by Ford. How do the young kids get into it?
Yep, so, and Amy Gillett Foundation, just go to the Today Show, and there's a link up there to go to Driving Skills for Life.
All right, fantastic, mate. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
I'm feeling much safer behind the wheel this morning, Tommy and Ali, and hopefully it's a great thing for any young people to do. Maybe at this time of the year, around Christmas time, is a good time to do some driving skills and awareness. And speaking of Christmas time, join us tomorrow morning. We've got a bit of a Christmas treat for you tomorrow. So we'll see you then.
Ooh, can't wait to see what that is. Stevie, we'll check in with you in the morning. Wonder what it is.